Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I got some new little friends here swimming around. We had a few, I think last year, and then they didn't end up lasting us very long. But here we have some new friends. Aren't they so cute? Hopefully add some more to the tank, but this is what we have for now. Oh well, first of all, I did a new set here. I designed these and then I just glued them on. They're a really cool, kind of swirly, abstract, I don't know, kind of design. And then I just added some stones, but I think that I do want to cut them down because I am not going to be able to do any clay crafts or I really want to make some bracelets, and I feel like stringing bracelets with or stringing beads on string for bracelets would probably take me forever. But what we're going to do today is we are going to take those gel pots that I have been talking to you about forever, about, and we are going to take most of them. I'm probably going to go through most of them and see if I have used a lot of them. If there's some that are probably down to the bottom, I'll probably just get rid of them. Any of the other colors that will fit, and whatever doesn't fit won't fit. And then whatever I use in the palette, I'll use. And then if I use up a color, I'll just fill it up with whatever's left, and that's that. But I do really like this palette. I wish that the top of it didn't come off. So maybe I'll eventually find something else. But as long as I have this palette kind of upright on my desk and not flip it around, I know that it's a palette with gel in it, so I'm not going to flip it around. And it shouldn't be flipped around anyways because I'm the only one that kind of touches my stuff. So I think it should be fine. I just want to look for something else probably in the future. But yeah, I've seen some really cool palettes out there, and I probably will get my hands on one eventually at some point, but we're just going to empty these out and take a little bit of time to do that. It actually did take me a little bit of time to do these. I did have to go off camera a little bit and finish them up, but yeah, this was actually really relaxing to do. I do have to say that I like this microphone. I was just listening back to a little bit of the audio and I don't hear anything in the background. This microphone has a setting on it that kind of blocks out all of the background noise. So I have a fan and AC on it. I don't hear any of that, which is amazing. So every time that I would record, whether it is just, recording like a one take or doing a voiceover, I would always hear my fan on in the background, which I didn't particularly like. But I do like that this microphone kind of blocks everything out in the background. Now, if I were to hit that button, you'd probably hear everything in the background. I don't know about like noises and TVs and things like that. But I do like it that I don't really hear the fan on. I like that. The only thing is if you just heard it, it kind of got a little scratchy. The only thing is that if you rub up on it, you will hear that, or if you're like moving it around in your hand too much, you will hear that. I have tested it out with just putting my microphone down on a surface and kind of backing up and not being so close, and I feel like it doesn't pick up as good. But I still have to play around with my microphone. I've only used it a few times, but so far so good. I do really like it a lot. This video is going to be a little bit longer of a video for those who like longer videos. Enjoy. Enjoy. I am going to be doing a little bit of a tutorial towards the end of the video, so please hang on if you want to see some clay art and watch me make some pancakes. I don't know. I had an idea so I had someone a request that I do a cherry and blueberry nail stand. And so I already did the cherry stand. I just have to finish glazing the sides and the bottom. I think I have one more bottle of UV resin left, and then I probably have to mix up some ratios after that and use that resin. And then after that, I probably am going to be out and will probably have to get some more resin. But I kind of was thinking making like a stack of pancakes and using the blueberries that I have already made to kind of decorate the tops of them. I want to decorate with either like a syrup. Well, I do want to add a syrup to the pancakes, but I'm not sure if I want to use some pastels that I have. I do have resin, excuse me, pigments that I am going to be reaching for later on in the video. And then for some reason, I thought they were more chalk pastels, and they're not. They're resin pigments. And if you do have these, please don't think that they are, I'm going to show them a little bit, but I'm just telling you now, the resin pigments that I do have, I initially when I bought them, I did think that they were little bottles of resin, and they're not. They are pigments for resin, which is good too, because all you have to do is mix it with a little bit of resin, and there you have colored resin. And there are so many colors in the kit. I will show you what it looks like. I will also link it down below if you're interested in them. I will also link the pastels, the chalk pastels that I have. I'll link those in the description box as well. I also did get those pastels when I got them to use them for shading as well, when I am either with, I guess you could use them in resin, maybe to color the resin if you were to mix it up really well. You don't want any pieces in your resin, so you would have to mix that up really well. So I would probably recommend the pigments rather than using the chalks, but you probably can still use the chalks. Also, you can use eyeshadows. I've done that before. You just don't want to use too much because you want your resin to cure correctly, so just don't use too much. But you can also use like I said, you can also use the chalk pastels to do some shading on your clay. You can also use eyeshadow to do some shading on your clay as well. So there are so many things that you can use when you're doing clay art. You just have to really just get creative and open that mind up. Now that I made this adorable nail stand, I off camera was looking at it and I was like, it seems a little off to me. So eventually I'm probably going to want to make a bigger one. I don't know, for some reason I just want to make a bigger stack of pancakes, and then eventually I want to get like bigger amounts of clay to make like bigger sculptures with, almost like pottery, but not, I mean, at some point I want to, try pottery. That's something that I actually did as a child. I had a class on it, and I think I've said this in one of my videos, but I was completely in love with that class. That was one of my favorite classes. I think it was in elementary school, probably fifth and sixth grade, and it was so cool. We had a kiln and everything, and we had underglazes and overglazes, and we learned to score. What was it? Slip and score and slip, whatever it's called. But I still use those techniques today. Even, those techniques that I used and skills that I learned, not used, but learned as a child, I still use today. So, I do want to get some more clay. I don't know what the clay is called. I know what it is that I want, but I just have to get it to make bigger sculptures with. So that will be a lot of fun. Um, and yeah, I definitely want to make a bigger stack of pancakes. I put the magnet on what I thought was straight, and then when I went to go look at it and put the nail on the stand, I was like, why is she leaning a little bit? But it's okay. It I think it just, once I put the little putty on, to stick the nail on, I might just have to add a little bit more to kind of prop it up a little bit for it not to, because I like the nail to be even. If you have the even or the nail leaning from on to one side more than the other, you might get uneven gel or uneven acrylic, even maybe possibly. So you want your nail to be as straight as possible and not leaning to one side or the other. Sorry about my lighting. It is not knowing how to behave at this moment. These colors are gorgeous. I feel like I'm going to use these gels more now, maybe for some nail art more than before, because now I can actually see them. When they're in those little jars and they're put away in a box, I'm not seeing them. Therefore, I probably am not going to gravitate or pull for them. No, I'm not going to use them. So I like that they're in here so that I can have this not far away and just go ahead and use it. Some were a little bit thicker than others because I think that, some of them are older than other ones, but that's okay. We are still going to use it. We just might have to be thin it out with some clear gel or just not use as much, use really thin coats of it. But I probably will not use these for full length like nail designs. I probably will just use this palette for, doing little designs here and there, little nail art here and there. But yeah, I do like this palette. I actually last night started to work on a watermelon nail stand, and I started it, but I think I'm gonna start it over because I'm not liking the way that it is coming out. But that's okay because I'm just gonna do it a different way, and that is the fun part about clay. Because if you're not happy with it, you can just fix it. It's really easy to fix. But and that was Amy's suggestion. I know that there was a Galaxy suggestion, to make a nail stand that was Galaxy sort of an inspired design. So I'm gonna try to work on that probably next after the watermelon. But following that, I would love to know what your recommendations or ideas are for the next nail stand that I should do. I do like making smaller nail stands just because they take less time. They take less product. But I do like to make. It's barely 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm trying to do this for you guys. So please bear with me. Sometimes I like to do my voiceovers before I go to work. Sometimes I do them late night. Sometimes I do them when I come home. So I do these voiceovers all times of the day. So please excuse me. Sometimes I try to, start it before I get to work, and then I might not finish it till after I get home. But anyways, so let me know what your recommendation is for the next nail stand I should do. I think I was saying that I do like to do the five, nail holder, but of course that takes more magnet, takes more clay. But I do love making them. They're so much fun, and you guys are really enjoying them, and I appreciate you guys loving them and showing all of your support for them and for me, because so many of you on YouTube and I think on TikTok as well have been asking me, what am I doing? Am I selling them? Um, People have been saying that they would buy them, and I'm not there yet. I'm hoping to be at some point. I think that if I were to make a shop, it'd probably be just because I'd be a one person, team. um I would, not even a team because I'd be by myself making these things, but I would probably do like a one off. Like if somebody wanted something custom, I would try my best to, do that for them. Or if I had something that came off the top of my brain, an idea, I would make one of those, maybe make one, two, or three. I don't think that I'm going to be making like 15 of the same nail stand, because I just think that that would be a lot. So I feel like I would want a really unique shop if I were to make one. I was thinking Etsy, and then I was thinking Shopify. I'm not really sure. For those of you that have small handmade little shops. Comment below your advice, tips, or tricks on how to start up. I mean, I know, you're a website and you just start up, but like, I want to know a little bit more details on like shipping and how you run your shop and how to get people to get to your shop. Obviously, I know social media really helps, but I do have a good amount of people that have said that they really are interested in purchasing. When I heard purchasing, I was like, wow, I guess, I'm making things that people really like and they would actually spend money on, which means the world to me. So I do want to start a little shop. I know a lot of you have been asking. I just don't know when I'm going to do it or how. I know that I want to do it, and I have been wanting to do it actually for probably a few years now. I just haven't really started it up. I think it might, maybe I'll just do like little small clay creations and things. I was thinking maybe doing press-ons, so I started to buy all of the stuff for press-ons to make. And then I changed my mind because I was like, I think it's just going to be too much. Or maybe I will do a press on shop. Who knows? Who knows? So those are things that I've got to figure out, but I just wanted to let you know that I am thinking about doing it. I am not sure why we are staring at a palette, but I think I'm going to come back in a second because I think I was trying to get some more gel pots opened or something. I'm not sure what I was doing. So please excuse the brief intermission. My my apologies for that. The palette looks beautiful. It's really pretty, but I'm not sure why while we're staring at it for a long period of time. Here I go. I decided to mix a couple of colors together because I didn't want to toss them, and I felt like I had enough to add to the palette, and I felt like some of the colors were kind of similar anyway, so I did end up mixing some of the colors, maybe 2 or 3 colors, not many, just so that I could save that gel. I'm actually now wondering if I should have put this part towards the end and put the tutorial in the beginning of the video. Either way, the video is going to be a little bit of a lengthy one, so I appreciate you watching. If you watch the full video, I appreciate that. I can tell when you guys are watching and when you're not really watching or when you're clicking through because the analytics say that. So if you are a trooper and you do watch all the way through, no matter how long or short my video is, that is true love and support, and I do appreciate you. And this is a disaster, and I started to freak out. And I'm trying to pick it up, and it's not working. Has to happen on the last color, right? Just had to happen. So this is a little overview of all of the colors. I think that it is beautiful, and I can't wait to start using them. So off camera, I did mix up a little bit of clay. This is like the only kind of pancake colored clay that I have. I mixed up a couple of colors, and I was going to use this blue for the blueberry stand, and then I changed my mind. I was going to make a giant blueberry, and then I was going to just make like I was going to make like a marbled slab like I have been doing for the blueberry stand, and then I changed my mind again, and I was like, I really want to do a stack of pancakes. I don't know why, and I want to add blueberries on top. So before we went on our mini little vacation, I did make all of these little blueberry charms. I think I'm going to use some of them. My mic wasn't on, so hopefully I sound better now. But I made all these blueberries into charms before I went on my little mini vacation. This is just some of the findings that I have. This is not all of them. Excuse these little cards here, but I'm going to reuse them. But I have some blueberries because I wanted to make a blueberry bracelet, and I think that I might still do that. Maybe silver. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I used to have these spools, big, huge spools of chain. I do not know where they are. I think I still have them. There's a little tiny hair or lint or something. I think it was a little piece of hair. But yeah, I think I want to make a little bracelet. So I've got my tools out. I made a couple of little blueberries. I've got some more blue clay out because I didn't know if I wanted to make some more blueberries, but these are going to be too light, so I'm probably not going to use these. What I started to do was make my little pancakes, and these little cutters are very, very helpful just because sometimes you want things to be more uniform. You want them to be like the same size. I don't know if I might use this one and turn it into a little charm, so that's why I have that there. But I think I might take maybe these out, these little, where is all this hair coming from? I think that I might take this little piece out. I should have wiped down my desk. And that's not hair, that's a little, I don't know what that is. I need a new mat. But I'm like, what is the sense of getting a new mat? Because I'm just gonna, I do a lot of crafting and stuff. So the most important thing to do is cover it, which I need to cover more of it. I'm not gonna really be using resin or paint or anything like that. So I'm not really worried about anything getting on my surface. But I love these cutters so much. These I got on Amazon. I am going to make I think I wanted to make a bigger stack of pancakes. The problem is that I only have these colors left, which are the lightest colors that I have in here. I have already used the center one. The center organizer here is completely empty, so I don't have any clay in here. I've only got a couple of colors, and I feel like this is the only color that is like a pancake color, and I think I should probably, maybe mix these together to make one color. I couldn't decide on which one, even though I think that they're a little dark. But this, I feel like, is the perfect pancake color. I'm just going to add some details, pop some blueberries on top. I need to add some magnets. It's probably going to be a one nail holder, maybe two, but I think one. But I do want to make a bigger one. So that is my plan, but I do need to get more clay before I do that. Again, I don't think that I have any more like tan clay, and all the browns that I have are, I think, too dark, and then everything I have, every other color I have is colorful. So I don't have any more like a pancake vibe colors. That's okay. We're going to do what we do. Yeah, I'm just going to try and finish this up. I am going to mix up some translucent, what is it by Scoby? I have the gloss glaze here, but I do love coating with UV resin instead. I do have the, what is it, TLS, I think it is. I do have it somewhere. And I kind of want to use that in some chalk to make like a syrupy color. So let me get all that together and then I'll be right back. Alright, I got it. If you didn't know what TLS is, it is from Liquid Sculpey. It is a translucent liquid Sculpey, so TLS. And I love this stuff, but I haven't used it yet. I'm hoping that it is still good because I haven't opened it up. It has, or I have had it for a while, as you can tell. Look at the box. But yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna get some, oh, that's what I need to get. I need to get my little chalks out. Let me grab those. I do have my new mat that I'm not using that I probably should be using. I was gonna say focus camera. Where am I? There am I. Not chalks, pastels. What are these? I think I have both of them. I have chalks and pastels. Wow, let me just grab them both. Okay, let's see what we have here. I didn't think I had both. Okay, so we have soft pastels here. Oh no, these are not, what am I talking about? Okay, these are actually we can use these as well. I'm like, what is this? These are not chalks. These are resin pigments. So these are pigments for the resin. These are not little bottles of resin, they're just pigments. And we might be able to use this as well if we don't find the exact color that we need in these pastels. So let me open this up. All right, so these are the pastels, and I'll probably use something in here, maybe darken it up a little bit, but I need to put these somewhere. Put them up here out of the way because I like to reuse those. But yeah, I'm going to make some sort of like syrupy color with these colors in here. I think these will be just fine, although we could use the resin pigments as well. So when we get to that step, we'll see. That's more of like when we get to the top of the pancakes. But I'm happy to have these. I will list these or link these in the description box below if you're interested in these. These are soft pastels, and there are 48 colors in here, as you can see. Good sized pastels. I don't really use these for art or anything. I really wanted to just use these for clay creations when I was using the TLS to make like I don't know, like little creams and syrups and things. So yes, make things look more realistic. But these are the pigments that I have, and I have not used them yet. There's a bunch of them. I believe the next fruit we are going to make is watermelon. Amy had suggested watermelon, so we are going to be doing watermelon next. A little cute watermelon stand. I think it's going to be so cute. I'm ready. You know, I've got so many ideas in mind. I posted a little short of these on TikTok and here on YouTube, and I was like, I'm going to cut these down. They're too long. I could barely, I mean, I could still manage making these little pancakes and things, but I'd rather not have this length on when I'm doing things like this because I like to get close, you know, and use like my fingers to, you know, sometimes work the clay and get little indents and things that you can't really do with your nails. But I do like them. I've had them on for a few days, but I'm not sure how long. I'm probably gonna cut them down tonight, or at least try to remove them for the week because these are going to be too long for me to manage at work. Not that I can't wear them, I just don't want to wear them this long for work. But yeah, let's get into making these cute little pancakes. I'm going to start with adding texture. You want to do that before you bake it, because after you bake it, you can't really add texture to them. Okay, I've got you all mounted now. So I think I'm going to start with probably mixing these two together. I really do like, yeah, see, these both are definitely darker than this color here, as you can see. So I don't know if I should mix these together. I feel like it's just going to be a much darker shade than what I want. Let me see. I'm just going to mix this up for a minute. Hope you all don't mind. Let's just see. Yeah, see, I'm not happy with the color. It's coming out to me. Sorry for my lighting. I need to get on some more lighting. I don't think I have enough. But yeah, this one seems to be a little bit more yellow than what I want. And I don't really know how to fix that because this color I feel is even darker. Should we mix it? I guess so. I mean, what else am I going to do? I'm not going to add any more yellow to it because I don't want it. Well, I haven't added any yellow. I honestly just said it. It was brown and a little tiny bit of yellow. We could add more brown. That is something that we could do, but then it's going to make it darker, but I also don't want it to be this yellow. Or do you guys think that this color is okay for like pancakes? Alright, so for this ball of clay, what I think I'm going to do is mix in a little bit of a darker brown because it's giving me a little bit of yellow. So let's see if that works. Hopefully it will. Normally when I buy clay, I buy several packets of like a color like this. I think it's called Ecru, if I remember correctly. That's the color that I like the best when I'm making and when I need like a color like this. It's kind of hard to make a color like this, so I just like to just buy it already made. But this kit or these colors came in this kit, so I just used what I had. But normally that's what I do. And then I'm going to mess around with this stack of pancakes a little bit because I felt like one of them was thicker than the other. So I'm just going to play around with it a little bit and see how I like it, and then we're going to get to texturing. I think I want to get a couple packs of air dry clay. There are some bigger decorations or decor that I really want to make, and I think that will be a lot of fun instead of like buying a whole kiln and doing pottery. I think that air dry clay might be a little bit easier, plus you don't have to bake it, it's air dry. So I might try that out. I have tried air dry clay before, but I haven't done it in a while. So that will be fun. I might get a couple packets of some air dry clay and see what we can come up with. Or maybe I'll get a couple pounds of a different type of clay. I'm not sure. But I want to start making like bigger objects. I don't even know if objects is the word, but I do want to start making bigger decor. And I want to see what I can come up with. I kind of have a couple of ideas of some things that I want to make in like a bigger scale. So we are going to try that out. It might take me a minute, but we're definitely going to try that out. Now here we are going to start to add texture. So I'm just going to slowly show you what I do. And I might even take this apart again and rearrange it because I think I do that a couple of times. So many of you have been wanting to see kind of a little bit more close up how I do my resin art or clay art. So I hope that you're enjoying these videos. If you're interested in seeing a full tutorial on how I make my clay nail stands, I will leave the link down below to a full tutorial. Right now I am working really hard on kind of balancing the magnet or making sure that the magnet is nice and flat and not crooked or leaning to one side or the other. So that's what I'm working on right now, to making sure that everything is even. And learning from my mistakes, I will not bake the magnet. I'm going to bake the pancakes first and then I'll add the magnet afterwards. Let's play a little game. If you watched the entire video or you watched this far, could you please leave a blueberry emoji in the comment section just so that I know who's watching? I'm kind of interested to see who's watching all the way through. Really quickly with this tool, I just wanted to show you exactly what I do with it. Hopefully I don't bump the camera with my would focus here, but see, there you go, bumping it. I'm trying to get in like a comfortable position to show you with these long nails and then also not bump the camera. But I'm taking this little tool that I have. Thank you. And I'm just using it to create a small little lip, just to create some more like dimension maybe. But I want these to have as much texture as possible. I'm not going to overdo it. Yeah, I'm just going to keep going around. And this actually is the same tool, just double-ended. So I can go ahead to the other side and continue to keep texturizing. Is that the right word? I'm actually going to shade these with a little bit of the pastels as well, as long as using the pastels as well, as using the pastels to create our syrup. So yeah, just going to keep going here. Take my time. It's a really relaxing thing to do. Where are my magnets? I will add the magnet after I bake. I of course need to make sure that these are leveled because I don't want these to have the nail looking crooked or sideways or anything. So before I go to bake this, I will always make sure that it is leveled. But this is what it's looking like so far. Alright, so I just went around with this little tool here. And just went around just like this, really slowly. And try to make it as even as possible. If it goes off to the sides and gets wonky, I love that because it actually makes the pancakes, excuse me, look realistic. And I want them to look as realistic as possible. As you all know, I make nail stands. Well, some of you might not know, but I think the majority of you that are watching know. But I make nail stands like this. So you would put all of your nails on and design your nails that way. I have made a bunch of different ones. This one still I have to finish. And also, when you're making these things, it's really not easy to make sure that your piece is leveled. The other day I was looking at it and I was like, oh, you are not leveled, girl. So these are really hard to make sure that they are leveled. That's why I like to take a quick peek at them before you bake them, and make sure that everything is leveled. So that's something that is kind of hard to do, is just to make sure that everything is leveled. But I love to make sure that everything is nice and flat on the surface, before I put the magnets on. But again, you want to make sure that your magnets are not kind of leaning to one side or the other side. But it's still super functional. I love it. It's still definitely going to be a lot of fun to use once I finish it, because I still need to finish it. But yeah, I make things like this. These are out of resin and the base of it is made out of clay. So yeah, lots of fun. Lots of fun. This one here is completely out of clay. The whole thing, everything you see here is completely out of clay and coated with resin. But again, this is a fun little nail stand that you can use while you're filming, recording, or even making your own press-on sets. It's just a lot of fun if you are definitely able to make these yourself. This is, again, is made out of clay. Little cute star. Lots of fun. So that's what we're making here. We're trying to make a blueberry themed stack of pancakes here. That is what we are doing. So we've got some blueberries here to use. We probably will use maybe these two. We'll probably use these two, make a little pat of butter and add the syrup. Let me get the yellow out that I'm going to be using. Here is a little bit of yellow here that we can use. We could use a little cutter to make a little square pad of butter, but I don't feel like I have anything small enough. Plus, I feel like when you make it with your hand, it's more organic and real looking, realistic looking. So we don't need a lot. It's just going to be a very small pad of butter, maybe this much. I think one of my favorite things about making clay creations is texturing. I think that kind of making a piece come to life is the best or the funnest part for me. So this is the stage and that is my favorite. I love it. I love to texture. It's so much fun. And for the remainder of the clay that I have left, I might just make a bunch of smaller clay creations, because I have made a bunch of bigger nail stands that have taken up a bunch of my clay. So I might just make a smaller creations and then maybe make like nail stands that hold like one nail or two. I might not make any more 5 nail displays, although I do have a resin piece that I want to turn into a nail holder, which I just need to add the magnets to. So I might just do that. But aren't these brushes so cute? I've had them for quite a while, and I feel like the liquid just evaporated in this one. But that's okay, it's still really cute. I will go ahead and still use it. But I wanted to use one of these brushes because I felt like it was perfect for doing a little bit of shading. So these were the resin pigments that I was talking about. Again, these are not bottles of resin. They are just pigments for the resin. But they're so very helpful, and there's so many colors in here. I was in between 2 colors, and I believe I ended up going with the golden color or pigment. Like I said, I will leave the chalk pastels and these resin pigments in the description box below if you're interested. This is a great kit right here. It's got so many colors, and even if the kit doesn't have the color that you're looking for, you can go ahead and mix colors. I think that should be okay. They're just pigments, so they should be fine to mix up if you needed to. And honestly, you don't even need that much of the pigment. I used a couple of drops and that was perfectly fine. You really don't have to use a lot. So these pigments, although they're small, They should last you a while. And because they do say resin pigments, I probably would stick to just only adding these pigments to resin. The pancakes are coming together. I made a little pad of butter just to add a little bit more, I was going to say life, but you know, a little bit more uh, detail, maybe? What's the word that I'm looking for, everybody? And in the lower right side or corner of my video there, you could see that I did add a little bit of resin. I did go with golden, like I said before. I'm going to add, I don't know, maybe, I don't know how many drops I added, but maybe 4 or 5 drops, I think. And then it wasn't enough, so I added more resin and then more pigments. So more pigment. So after I was done, maybe I would say 6 drops, but 6 very small drops, not big drops at all. Very, very small. A little goes a long way. I was trying to come up with the perfect syrup color, and I think that this is the perfect syrup color. I really like this golden color, and I like that I didn't have to mix colors to come up with this color. How many times did I say color? So I went ahead and baked the clay at about 275 for about 20-25 minutes. You just want to go ahead and watch it so you don't burn it. Smaller pieces for me need less time. Bigger, thicker pieces need longer time. So this is what the stack of pancakes looks like after I baked it. And it's still slightly hot, so I'm going to wait a little bit for it to cool off before I start adding the syrup. I know this video was a little bit lengthy, but if you watched this far, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please remember to leave some blueberries in the comment section. I'm now going to be adding some dimensions, so I'm just going to be shading the clay piece a little bit to make it look more realistic. There's the word. Once you're kind of all done with the hardest part, I guess, which to me I think is actually creating whatever it is that you're going to create. That is a giant bird. What is that? Oh my goodness. I'm looking at the window and that, what is that? I'm thinking maybe some sort of heron. Wow. That was a really big bird. I know we have a lot of ducks and geese around here and other different birds, but that was huge. Wow. When I feel like I am all done with the piece and everything is good to go, we are then going to coat it with some resin. The blueberries I did not coat because I did not want them to be glossy. Sometimes I want things to kind of look like matte or in its original state. I don't really know how to explain it. And sometimes I want things to look glossy. In this case, I wanted the syrup to look glossy. I did coat the underside of the pancakes with resin off camera. I don't think I did that on camera. But yeah, I like to coat my resin pieces, or excuse me, my clay pieces with resin. And right now I'm just attaching the blueberries with some resin. So the point of me doing this is so that the blueberries kind of hold in place and they don't move around. So I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the syrup. And then after that, we will go ahead and coat the entire thing, most of it in resin. These nail stands have been so much fun to make. I know a lot of people make resin nail stands with molds and things, and I was like, you know what? I think I can make nail stands with clay. The only thing is that you have to mold them, and it's a little bit more work by hand to do, but I love it and it's so much fun. Thank you guys all for your support lately, new and old. I appreciate you all. It truly does mean a lot to me, and it does make a difference to my channel. If you can, in the comment section down below, let me know what you think of our little stack of pancakes. I think it came out so cute, even though it's not done yet. I want to make some new press-ons for myself, so be on the lookout for that. I may do a few videos of me, doing a full tutorial on how maybe I make a set. I think that'll be fun. Something also that I want to start doing a lot more are lives. So that's something that I need to start planning, even if it's not, something, I don't know, like a craft or nails that we're doing, even if it's a live just to hang out and talk. I think that that would be a lot of fun. So, but I'm not going to make a schedule or anything. I'm just saying that I think I want to make, do more lives. So I'm going to work on that. So we will see about that. And also, if you could turn on your post notifications so you could be notified every time I upload so you don't miss when I go live, that'll help you to be notified. Or when I do go live so you don't miss it. Also, I save my lives. So if there was ever a live that you missed, you can definitely go ahead and backtrack and watch it. I actually have gone live a couple times. If you missed out on that, again, you can go ahead and watch those lives if you wanted to. A lot of time, if I do miss someone's lives, I definitely will go back and watch it if they saved it. So I love that people save their lives because if I do miss one, I can go back and still watch it. Even though I wasn't there live, I'm still going to help you out and watch your live. Even if it's 3 hours, I might, watch half now and then watch half later. Or maybe I'm doing my nails and I'll just put that live on, for a couple of hours. Or if there's like a weekend that I'm not really doing much and I'm like hanging out and I'll throw a video on. So I always take time to spend with you all, always. A little trick to when I am adding this syrup, I like to kind of hit it with the lamp really quickly so I can stop it from dripping. I kind of want it to drip a little bit, but I also, if I don't want it to continue to keep spreading, I like to kind of like hit it with the lamp so it freezes it and stops it, so it cures and it stops it from dripping. I did make intentional drips on it because that's what I wanted it to look like. We're at the end of the video. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. You have no idea. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked this video. It really does help me out a lot. Let me know that you watched till the end by leaving some blueberry emojis. And I will see you all in my next video. Please don't go too far. I'm going to try to upload again this week. I don't ever have a schedule or set any schedules because I don't want to make a schedule and then not follow that schedule. Maybe someday I will have a set schedule, but for now I upload when I can. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.